Hello, this is Father Louis Skirty. Welcome back to Dora's Story with Richard DeLuca, her husband of 57 years. In the course of the past few segments, we've looked at the family, the love, the connections, the communication, the attachment, the whole system. And now I want to go to another aspect of this relationship, the cultural aspect. Again, every system, every family has many, many layers. And now Rich is going to share with us Dora and his love for the arts, opera, culture, theater, museums, travel. Let's go. How did you find out from Dora that you both had these attractions to
Well,
the
as soon
arts?
as we started dating, for example, she worked in the garment district, and,
Yes.
and she was 2 blocks south of the old Metropolitan Opera.
Oh, right,
It was
right,
on
right.
39th and Broadway. She was
Right.
on 36th. Occasionally, I would go in for a date with her, and first thing I would say is, "Why don't we walk over see what's playing tonight? We'll buy tickets." So we would go over. If it was an opera we thought we wanted to see, we'd pay $3 for standing
Oh,
room.
Madonna made
And
$3.
and we would go to a diner and then come back and go to the theater, to the opera.
Yeah, yeah.
And then as soon as we got married, we decided, okay, let's try to go periodically, at least once a year or twice a year. In addition to that, by then we were longtime opera fans because we had listened since we were children to an opera on the radio.
Sure,
Now,
sure.
many people don't know this, but the Metropolitan Opera
Yes.
started broadcasting
Saturdays.
on Saturdays.
Yes, I remember
during
that.
the season in 1931.
I
was
wasn't
only a
born
year
then.
old. I
I
was
wasn't
a year
around.
old. But I remember from the
Wow.
time I was 7 or 8, my father every Saturday
great.
when there was a broadcast, we had an old Philco radio.
Right,
He would
right.
say to my brother and I had a brother 18 months younger, Len and I, because we grew up together. Anyway, he would say to Len and I, "Hey boys, at 1 o'clock the opera's coming on. I know it's cold out there, like in the middle of December, you know." He said, "But if you guys are quiet, you can stay here. Otherwise, fuera."
40.
That's what he would say. Fuera. Not fuera. Go
That's
out.
great. That's
And
great.
that's what we did.
And so
we
you
both-
learned the opera. I
and
mean, you appreciate it.
Meanwhile, Dora's her father in particular was a big opera. Same with her. We
Yeah.
both wound up listening to opera from the time we were children.
Oh, my God.
And by the time I met her, she was actually going to the opera regularly because she was there.
Yes, yeah.
And she would go
convenient.
with the lady who was her best friend who wrote the first part of her story,
Right, right.
Milena, who was, by the way, had partly trained, and she was a good mezzo. She sang in the chorus of Sacred Heart for many years.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
But anyway,
and
so-
just so you remember,
Right.
we're talking about, I'll give you a color copy. We're talking about Dora's story, the story that Rich gathered, putting all thoughts and anecdotes and memories about Dora's experiences together. When I spoke to Barbara Stomber, who's quoted in the book, I said, "Too bad you're not going to come because you could be here for the interview." And she says, "No, just talk to Rich about the marriage." And that's what it was. It was a lovely marriage. And really, it was a great love story. But it still continues. God bless you. Okay, so your love of opera, and that continued.
All the time. Yeah. In fact, we make arrangements to have the kids sit with their grandparents on a Saturday periodically. We'd go in and see a matinee.
That's great.
And then when the kids got older, when they were all like out of school or in college, we started going periodically. We would get subscriptions for like Wednesday evenings or something. And we'd go see 5, 6 operas during each season.
Wow, that's
So we
great.
started that
Yeah.
like 35, 40 years ago. And we did that until the year before she died, until 2010. So
And you're coordinating an opera club sort of thing at Annunciation.
in my
Church.
church, somebody said, "Why don't we start an opera group?" So
Opera
we
group,
started
yeah.
one. I'm the guy who runs it. What I do is, before each opera is scheduled to be broadcast, whether it's live or recorded, I send everybody a breakdown of what the opera's all about.
Great.
And then I offer to hold a meeting with them where I play excerpts on CDs that I have.
That's wonderful.
And so I'm sort of an opera educator by accident,
Yeah.
but I enjoy it.
That's your blood. You're an educator.
Yeah.
Okay, so from the opera, did the kids ever get involved?
My one son sort of likes opera. Most of them, not really.
Okay,
They
I'm a
just-
different
And
culture.
even though they heard it on Saturdays, because
Sure.
they were always playing.
They had no choice.
Although we didn't send them out.
At
We didn't do
40,
it.
no, you didn't go. Okay, so other aspects of culture that you brought into the family.
Okay, well, of course, we were both very much interested in art. In fact, Dora's very artistic. I have drawings of hers in my dining room. When you come there sometime, I'll show this to you. Um, so she was very artistic. I was very artistic, by the way. When I was in elementary school, I drew had a lot of drawings.
Wow.
And in fact, I had an uncle who was a commercial artist, and he told my father when I was 13 years old I ought to go to art school. Unfortunately, when I was 14, my mother accidentally destroyed everything I did to.
No.
Well, we were living in a cold water flat, and we had, in the attic, we had a storage area. I used to keep everything in a folder up there.
Sure.
My mother decided to spring clean one year, and she accidentally threw out.
Oh, wow.
So that discouraged me from, by the way, recently I found 4 little hand pencil drawn things that I did back when I was
great.
maybe 12, 13 years old. I found them in a
Nice.
file somewhere.
Oh, you got to leave them to
So
your
at least I
children.
have something to show. I really did draw for them. But my wife was very artistically inclined. She used to she would go to, as an alumni, she would attend art classes at William Patterson. She was the instructor's favorite student. Because she would get all the other kids involved.
Yes.
That was her.
Questions and,
Yeah.
oh, Lord, that's
So we
great.
loved art, and of course we used to go to a lot of plays and musicals. And then we had friends where we would always we formed a circle of friends where we lived with 4 couples, where once a month we would have a dinner at someone's house. Everybody would bring something and we would share. And we did that for like 30 years, 40 years before, little by little. We're down to 3 people, by the way.
Yeah.
We have 2 widows and me, and we're the only ones left. So, but they're both in Cedar Crest. So occasionally they call me and say, "Come on up and have a try." I visit them.
That's great.
So
Wow.
yeah, art was a big interest of both of us. We attended a lot of plays. We loved musicals. Dora was always the arranger, by the way. She would
With
call
8
other
kids,
friends.
you had time for all this.
Well,
Yes,
we
did.
made time.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
said
yeah.
that and of course we always encouraged our kids to take an interest in art. Dora was big on helping them with everything. Don't just look at one thing. Look at all kinds of things, because life is full of wonder,
That's
no matter what you do.
That's
So,
great.
that was
And
it.
you traveled a lot.
Yeah, once she retired, which was in 1999, we decided, okay, we're going to go to Europe once a year,
Good.
as long as we can, to visit famous cities, museums, opera houses, and so we did that
Oh, it's
from
wonderful.
1999 to 2009. I'm sorry, and so we managed almost every big city we went to get to see an opera.
Oh,
which
great.
was also
great. Wow.
And then we visited, the first trip, we actually visited our relatives in the Dolomites. And by the way, when you visit relatives, it's like you're the king.
Oh, yeah.
They roll the
yeah.
carpet out.
Yes.
And you can't believe
Mange.
the treatment. Not on everything.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
That's great.
so,
This has been wonderful. This has really been a wonderful, and you have tip of the iceberg. Could you imagine what it was like living in a household with 8 children, 2 very loving, cultured, communicative parents, struggling, building, growing together?
that's what we tried for, and I believe we were successful. Just take a look at my family. And my family, none of them became problems. They all have done very well. They were raising their children the same way, and we're happy to see that.
God bless you.
So thank you very much, Father Louis.
This has been Father Louis Scurti, with a friend of many years. As a matter of fact, I think you started William Patterson in '92. I started in '89. And he retired. He's a little older than me. And he continues the story of Dora in his life by living it, by sharing it, by writing about it, and by communicating with his children, her children, their children, and their friends. God bless you. This has been Father Louis Scurti. Share your story with each other, and let me hear from you. Father Louis Scurti at hotmail.com. God bless you.